House for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale.
Home for sale. Home for sale.
We've got a home.
Available now.
What's up, MHD family? This is Robert McArtor with Maryland Homes team of RE/MAX Components. We're coming to you live this evening on Maryland's Thriving Thursdays, where we produce Maryland's #1 Facebook Live show called Let's Talk Real Estate. Tonight we're going to have a special guest. We're going to have a calendar of events where we're going to share with you events that are going on within the community and also important housing stats. So we want you to grab a cup of coffee or a glass of iced tea. We want you to brace yourself because in 3, 2, 1, let's talk real estate. quickly. Hi, it's Robert McArtor and Maria McArtor. She made it just in time right to the set. We're having a great time. here at Maryland Homes Team. It is Thriving Thursday. Finally, we made it. We made it Thriving Thursday. We're super excited. We have a jam-packed show. Money is raining right now for our sellers. It's raining for our buyers. They're able to tap in, get great interest rates.
That's why I was late.
That's right. That's why you're
showing
late.
a house in Havity Grace, and we had to see it.
That's right. Showing houses in Havity Grace. And I tell you, so I'm so excited. It's Let's Talk Real Estate. We have a jam-packed show. We have a fantastic, super awesome guest.
As
Jim
always,
Nietubicz with Paramount Turf Company. You want to hang around for that. If you want to talk grass, you want to talk
good-looking grass, not
good-looking grass, not just any
grass,
old grass, but you want to
great
talk
grass.
about grass. You want to talk to Jim, and you want to hang around for that. And we have so much more in store for you. We have some great marketing stats, and hey, hang around because we might just DM you for a gift card.
Look what's back.
Yep, look what's back.
The wheel.
The wheel. The wheel is back.
What should we call it, honey?
The wheel of real estate fortune.
Well, not really.
I don't know. The wheel of real estate
Okay,
fortune.
you guys think of a name and we'll come up. We'll
think of a
name
name.
it.
Put it in the comments section. Think of a name. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk to you in just a moment. Hi, and we're back.
We are.
We are finally, again, it's Thriving Thursday. We're super excited that you've joined with us for this awesome show.
Always.
And as always, and like I said, it's a question and answer program. So put those questions in the comment section below. We would love to be able to put them on the program. Any questions you may have, any comments, make sure you check in, because if you check in, we might be looking at those names and putting them in a little raffle after the show and DM you for a gift card to either what, Maria?
Well, something we were going to share tonight.
Well,
But are we going to save some things for the end?
We can share it afterwards.
Right?
Yeah, you want to dive right into the interview? Well, here, let's go through the calendar. I want to go through the calendar of events because we have so much.
We really do.
That's coming up, and I want to be able to share that with you. So let's go through our calendar. So the first thing we have coming up is the Home Seller Workshop. And you want to register on our website. Just go to MarylandHomesTeam.com, or you can go to searchmydreamhome.com, scroll down to the bottom, make sure that you register for that Home Seller Workshop. That's going to be a lot of fun. It's jam-packed, and we have plenty of space for you. We also have a free Home Buyers Virtual Workshop. That's this coming Saturday, April 10th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. We have a lot of people that's joining in with us, but believe me, we have room for you. So if you are a home buyer, it doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer, you definitely want to join in with us. And again, visit our website at searchmydreamhome.com or MarylandHomesTeam.com. Scroll down to the bottom, click on, and you'll register, and we will send you the Zoom link for that. Hey, are you buying or are you selling a home? Well, of course, if you are, why not go ahead and subscribe to our team? Get one of our wonderful, awesome professional agents to represent you in either selling your home or buying a home, and get that free 5-day, 4-night luxury cruise certificate for 2 to either Mexico, the Bahamas, or West Caribbean, right? So you might as well just go ahead and use us. That way you get your dream vacation as well. If you want information more about that, please visit our website. Also coming up is the Rewrite a Child's Story dinner auction. That's the Treasure of Youth. That's coming up very quickly, June 25th on a Friday. The music by the classics. Who doesn't like the classics, right?
Like a live band?
Live band. They
Every
are also,
year.
by the way, if you love 80s, 90s music, even maybe a little bit of 70s music in there, you're going to absolutely love the classics. And you want to join us for this event. Guess who is the guest auctioneer for this event?
I bet he's very handsome.
He is very handsome, and just giving myself a little pat on the back, but hey.
That's such a surprise. You're such a
surprise
humble guy.
for
I
me to do
never
that.
see you do that.
I'm so humble. I'm so humble. And listen, the Spring Fling Flea Market is Saturday, April 10th at this year.
That's
from
this weekend.
8 to 2:30. Yep, from 8 to 2:30. So after our home buyer workshop, you want to jump down there to the flea market. And that is going to be an awesome event, and that's down on Cub Hill Road in Parkville. If you want your event to be placed on our on our calendar of events, then hey, you know something? You
Just
need
let
to
us
send
know.
us a message. You need to Facebook us, DM us,
Yes.
and we'll be more than happy to put you on.
We
on
love
our
to
list.
support the community.
We love to support our community. Absolutely.
So did you talk about what we did on Good Friday? It was a Good Friday last week with MHT. What did you do, Rob?
So what we did was I took,
Other than honor the holiday.
that's right. So
we wanted to make it a Good Friday for someone else.
So what we did is we came up with an idea of a Good Friday grocery giveaway. That's what we wanted to do. I've actually been talking about that for a very long time, for probably well over a year or two.
I have been talking about that.
And
why do you
so have
always
I.
take my credit?
And so have I. I've talked to the kids about it, and we had a great time talking about it. So I told Chloe, I said, Chloe, this is a great time to do it. She is my my social media, one of my social media gurus of my daughters. And she's also my camera gal. And so what we did is
very talented.
We went down, out to a local grocery store, and we had it really planned out very well. And showed her the power of discernment, basically.
Okay,
and,
so then you
so we sat there for about a year. We sat there for about an hour, and we spoke to a family. And I'm telling you, if you want to check out that video that we produced of our grocery giveaway for Good Friday, go to our Facebook page. Make sure that you scroll down. You'll be able to see the video there, or even on our YouTube channel as well.
So
just Google my name.
Let's
Robert
get to the
McArtor.
point, which he's just more talking about all the places you can find it. We gave a grocery shopping spree for over 1 minute to a family and their little one that they had in the Aldi's store, and they could pick out whatever they wanted, and they had a little over 1 minute, and they picked out whatever they wanted and put in the grocery store, and God bless them. I would have went straight for the meat and threw everything in my basket, but they just shopped for the things that they normally would get. And their little boy, I don't know how old he was, maybe 5 or 6, he comes back with 3 gallons of ice cream, bags of potato chips.
So you have to watch the video.
Oh my gosh, you gotta love him.
You gotta watch the video because it's towards the end, but it's the cutest thing to watch him.
And they were so grateful.
Ice cream. Yeah,
and
they were really
was just
grateful.
A lot of fun.
Yeah, no kudos to us. Trust me, we did it 100% for them. We wanted them to be blessed, so it's all about them, and just a round of applause for them for being a part of it, and I'm super excited about that. But listen, without further ado, we have a very, very important guest on board with us. I want to bring him on board, and his name is Jim Nietubicz, and he is the co-founder and CTO. Now, wait a minute, don't ask me what CTO is.
Okay,
he is going to explain that with Paramount Turf Company. And you can imagine, they're basically helping you grow green grass. But this guy comes with so much success in his past, and his resume is a mile long.
Well,
and
can't wait to hear.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted him on the program. But Jim, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, Maria and Robert, thank you guys so much for having me and hosting this show and bringing Paramount Turf Company, to life here, so to speak.
You're welcome.
But yeah, my name is Jim Nietubicz. I'm the co-owner. My business partner Brad Anderson and I, we started this company last year. We prior to the pandemic, and we thought, man, this would be great. Let's start a company, and we're gonna right in the springtime, this would be perfect. And then the pandemic hit, and kind of caused us to change gears a little bit and try to really focus on, all right, how are we going to deliver a product to people that people are going to want. We started with we're thinking about the application business. Let's go down there. There's a lot of application companies that are out there, and we're like, how can we improve on that? And then with COVID, we're like, okay, this is a whole other element of how we can do this. Are we even going to be able to approach the customers and all this? So we decided to the foundation of where this company really exists. I kind of attribute it to to Brad and also my dad, because every year for I'm going to say at least 25 to 30 years, they call me in between February and April, and they go, "Hey, what am I supposed to do on my property?" So I'm like, "Okay, well, you got to do this, this, and this," and it went from telling them to then writing it down to putting it into a calendar. And then actually me calling them up and going, "Hey, did you do that?" And I don't mean to throw my business partner under the bus a little bit, but he would call me up in June and be like, "Hey, it's looking bad. Like, I don't know what to do." I'm like, "Well, did you do step 1, 2, and 3. And he's like, yeah, I didn't get around to that. So it's like, all right, well, next year, this is what we're going to do next year. And it was really his vision to kind of say, hey, there's a lot more people out there like himself, the DIYers, if you will. Our mission is to really help homeowners and the DIYers. If they're willing to put in the sweat equity, we're right there with them step by step, to walk them through on how they can actually, create the lawn and landscape that they deserve.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, that's great information. And so your history, Jim, is you worked at golf courses or a golf course for many, many years. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's to summarize the whole thing. I went from push mowing lawns when I was 11 years old. My grandfather bought me a mower and knocked on a neighbor's door and said, he'll cut your grass for $25. And I will. Okay. So I started from there all the way up to working at the #1 golf course in the world up in New Jersey, Pine Valley, and coupled that with my time working for one of the nation's largest landscape companies has really kind of, again, it all adds up to the foundation, that is PTC. So
yeah, that's fantastic. So when we talk about, real estate, this is such an important time for our clients because they've been preparing their properties, well in advance, even a month or two ago. Just trying to get their home ready and get it on the market, things like that. So a lot of the questions, there's many other questions they ask us, but of course, one of the things on the list is curb appeal. Rob, what do we need to do to make our home look great in the photographs, when people drive by the home, things of that nature? And when I drive up to the home, the first thing I want to look at is, are the bushes trimmed? Do you have any flowers out there? And then I look at the grass, because Maryland is so tough. There's so much crabgrass here. And I know, Jim, you and I had this conversation a little bit earlier. It's so difficult because there's different soil types. People don't realize this all throughout Maryland. And you really have to be aware of the different pH levels and things like that. And I don't want to talk above our viewers' heads, but I wanted you to share a little bit to our viewers about why they need to contact someone like you if they really want a good green lawn that's a healthy lawn that's visibly going to look great throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first thing there is I don't have the numbers in front of me, and you guys actually probably know them, but the ROI on just the curb appeal compared to putting a pool in the back or having anything like that, the curb appeal is really going to accentuate your home and the aesthetics. Sometimes if there's other things that need to be changed inside the house, because not everybody's design concept's the same, but if the outside can grab them to walk in through the front door, then there's a really good shot there, both for buying a house and for selling a house.
Absolutely.
But this time of year, I mean, you can really start maintaining your property at any point of the year. It doesn't have to be in February or March or April. That's ideal, especially in our location. As you go further south, you're going to start probably in January and February. I mean, I'm talking southern states like in the Carolinas and Georgia. But then, take it up a month, by April, May, the further you go north up into New England states. So it's about, what you want to get out of your property, and just capitalizing on the know-how of it's not just going to your big box stores and going, okay, well, that product there says it's going to make my property green. And I know it says to only get 1 bag, but I'm going to get 2 bags. Because I think that's really going to make things really jump. Well,
why take 1 aspirin, right? When you can take 2 for that, right?
Yeah, right. So, I mean, not only are you going to kill your grass, being that we're so close to Chesapeake Bay, you're going to hurt a lot of things environmentally. And coming from the golf course world and the landscape world, kudos to all those individuals, the superintendents, the landscape managers, the athletic field guys, because we're under constant, I don't want to call it scrutiny, but we're under constant, microscopes as far as being licensed to spray pesticides, to apply fertilizers, and to do all that, which is great. I mean, it's to be regulated like that sometimes it's a little bit cumbersome, and it's a little bit of a nuisance to go through all the credits and everything. But the continuing education really helps us, see any of the new products that are coming in or any regulations that are, is coming from the EPA. But it's really hard to regulate homeowners. There's no regulation. And I've talked to a couple people in certain extension agencies and everything, and they said there's just no way that they can do that. Not that I want that to happen for homeowners, but what Brad and I want to do is we want to be able to kind of guide them and educate them through the process to simply say, yes, you can get that product, but you're a little bit too late on the calendar to apply that, but there's other things we can do. I know the word chemicals really scares everyone, but you can do it safely, and it's just the know-how, the timing, and really it's just a lot of reading. It's a lot of reading of the label, but that's why we're here, because we'll help guide them along to make sure that they're getting what they want, but they're doing it the proper way.
Yeah.
So, for instance, say I was watching the show today, what would my first step be? I would just contact you, and then what would happen after that?
So what we have is if you go to ParamountTurf.com, that's our website there, and you scroll down a little bit, gives a little bit of background about myself. And but right next to my picture, there's a little box that's like wiggling back and forth to kind of grab your eye. You're going to want to click on that, and then that'll lead you to, put your name and your email in. And not only will, you'll be directed to a video that kind of just explains a little bit more about what PTC does, for our visual learners compared to anybody that, wants to read. But what you will get in your email is a month-to-month guide, if you will, of just the basics of, that's what I have to do. This is when I have to get it done by. So it just kind of provides like the blueprint, if you will, of getting you on the right step. Now there's a lot more to go into that. But again, we're here, you do the sweat equity, we'll guide you along. I'm the superintendent, you guys can be my assistant superintendents. And then at some point I have to promote you to superintendent of your own property.
Nice.
So do you do a one-on-one consultation, like through Zoom or personally? Do you come out and look at their lawns, and do you guys guide them? So this is like 5 questions. Sorry about that. I'm bad at
Sure,
that.
no, that's fine.
And then will you actually treat the lawn, or you teach them how to treat their own lawn?
It's really about teaching them how to do that. But even if they think they want to do that, and they go in and they put the information in and they get the idea and they go through that and they're like, it's just too much for me. Well, now we've kind of empowered them to ask the right questions to their lawn care company that actually does the applications. So
Okay.
it's just educating them that route. So really, and I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here, but what we do is we help guide them, and it's not just about, what's happening up top. It's not just about, the green grass up top. There's so much biology, microbiology going on underneath the grass that if that's all out of balance, if that's, completely out of whack, it doesn't matter, what you put down. You can get brand new sod, put it down. Okay, that looks great. I'm going to tell you that it's going to die because you didn't fix what's going underneath. So whenever you plant a seed in the ground, the first thing that comes out of a seed is the root. So that should kind of tell you we need to really understand what's going underneath first in order to make the top growth, what we want it to be.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's so important, especially for homeowners, because we just don't know. We need an expert like you to come out, either do a soil sample to test, to see maybe the pH level, to just test and see what we need, because it's so, you can go to the big box stores and you can look at literally an entire aisle full of different types of fertilizers.
It's overwhelming.
Ones that take out the crabgrass, ones that that are for shade, one that's not for shade, ones that that have insecticides built into them. But then you have the group of numbers at the bottom, the 20, 11, or 13, or whatever those numbers, and then you just get overwhelmed and you're confused because, well, what group of numbers do I use? And you're not going to really know. It's kind of like driving a car, knowing that the car needs oil, but not knowing what kind of oil that goes into the car. And you really need an expert to say, hey, look, that car, you need,
or you could kill
10W30,
your car without
something
the right
like that.
oil.
So, yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And the products, and it was really interesting last year. I found myself during the, beginning of the pandemic, I would walk through, some of these big box stores, and first of all, the parking lot was completely full. I mean, it was just jammed. And so I would obviously walk through the landscape section because that's what I do. So I'm walking through, and I hear people talking, and I hear them, conversing like, should we get this? I don't know. Should we do that? And I'm looking at the product that they have, and it's not that the product wouldn't have worked, but if you were to look at the base temperatures from this year to last year, we warmed up. We didn't freeze last year. We warmed up so much faster.
Right.
So the same tactics that we employed to our clients, and even here at my house, the same tactics that I just did a week ago, I had to do a month ago last year.
Oh,
so
okay.
what I did in March this year, I did in February last year. But for the novice DIYer, they may not know that, because on the back of the bag, it says in certain transition zones, which is what Maryland is. Oh, you need to put it down between April and May. Well, unfortunately, that would have been too late. So it's just that understanding of products that are out there. There's so many products to pick from, and they all work. It's just knowing when to do it and how to do it.
Yeah, that's right. One thing I love about your website is that it's pretty engaging. So, if you want that month-to-month, step-by-step blueprint on basically creating that amazing lawn, click that icon that's on your website. I encourage our viewers to go to your website at ParamountTurf.com to get that free step-by-step guide. But you also, if you scroll down a little bit further, you have 3 secrets there to growing a healthy lawn. And I just wanted to touch base on that for our viewers. And so secret number 1, stop invasive weeds before they start growing. Share a little bit about that.
Well, again, it's going back to how this really all started with Brad and my dad, and now I'm going to kind of throw my dad under the bus a little bit, but he's Jim, I have so many weeds. There's so many weeds on my property. What am I supposed to do? I'm like, well, you need to take them out. If you're going to try to grow grass, you need to get rid of the weeds. But his claim to me, and he's gotten a lot better, is that well, if I get rid of the weeds, then I won't have anything. And I'm like,
but I don't know what a weed look like. I bet there's green weeds that look just like grass, right?
Yes.
Or am I going to walk outside and look at my lawn being a novice and say, yep, that looks like a weed? Well, I don't know what a weed looks like. I mean, I bet there's things that I need to pull that
I like grass.
Sure. Well, it's funny because even take for instance crabgrass. That is a grassy weed.
Okay.
And to the non-trained eye, it looks great all summer because it does wonderful. But the first frost that hits, it's the most purple thing you have out in your lawn, because it dies every year. Yeah. Okay. It seeds itself and then it dies, and you're like, okay, good, it's gone, and then it pops back up next year. But you're right, the weeds that are out there, there's broadleaf weeds and grassy weeds. The broadleaf weeds are easy to see because they all different shapes. They're not like your typical grass, the single blade. The grassy weeds are a little bit harder. They're harder to control. The timing is very imperative on that. But the broadleaf weeds, if you get those out, because again, if you think about it, a broadleaf weed has more surface area to take on sunlight, to grow bigger, and they're going to get bigger than the grass that's underneath of it, therefore killing the grass that's underneath. So if you can get ahead of the curve by either preventing it before it grows or taking care of it after it germinates, and the leaves are all out, you apply whatever chemical we need to put on it, and then the grass underneath actually has a chance. The chemistries that are available today compared to when I first got into the golf course industry are night and day difference. They're a lot safer. You read the label on everything. That's what we tell all of our clients. Like, I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to walk you through it. But again, just read the label, and you have to that's all about being a steward of the environment, is going through the process and reading those instructions. There are some times when I get things delivered to me where if I'm assembling it, I'm like, I don't need the instructions, I'm good. But when it comes to chemicals in your property and the environment, please read through all the instructions.
That's great advice.
Right.
If you're going to take a golden nugget away from this conversation, it's definitely that. Yeah, that's great. So I want to go down the other 2 here real quick. So number 2, amend soil and address compaction annually. Explain to just the novice, to the DIYer, what you're talking about there.
Sure. I touched on that a little bit in the regards of knowing what's going on underneath the grass.
Okay.
It's so hard to, and I dealt with this a lot when I was a superintendent, of explaining to either my board or the general manager of going, hey, we need to fix the problem underneath to make that work well. And it's going to cost X amount of dollars. And it's mind boggling, if you're putting in drainage or irrigation, but it's so important to what you're trying to do up top. So amending your soils, that really, and you touched on a little bit too, Robert, and as far as, understanding what your pH is, your soil test, you have that knowledge. Once you can get that knowledge, and sometimes the reports, you can either go through university, your extension agency. I prefer a lab out in Ohio. I've used them for years, Logan Labs, and it's just what you're comfortable with, but it's taking that information and then drawing a plan from that of what you need to put in your ground, so that next year everything's available. And what I mean by that is you can go out to the store, you can buy fertilizer, you can apply it to your property, and you may see nothing happen. And what that is the nutrients go down, the water converts it, and microorganisms kind of convert it over into plant energy, or I'm sorry, plant available nutrition. But sometimes it gets locked up onto the soil and the plants can't take it up. So you amend the soils to allow plant nutrition to be available, and you actually start to see a green up. So I've heard a lot of people say that product is not, that product doesn't work. Don't buy that product. Well, does it not work? Or do you just not understand why it's not working? So the soil test and trying to figure out any underlying issues is step one of creating a healthy lawn and landscape.
Wow, that's great. I tell you, so for the DIYer, they're going to geek out over this conversation when it comes to wanting to do their own lawn. I'm just telling you that.
Sure.
So you're definitely going to get some contact.
And when people do take care of their lawn, they're very proud of that.
They're very
like
proud.
They can't wait
Absolutely.
to tell you exactly what they've done.
Yep.
And it's never like a one-liner. It's like a list.
It's a 30-minute conversation. Let me just
Right?
tell you what I did here. I regraded over here. I did sod over here. I used this chemical over here. So they're proud. But it's like anything else. It's just like construction. You have to start with that foundation. You don't build the building on top of sticks and ground and grass. You have to grade that property first. You have to make sure that it is stable underneath before you put the columns in and you build that building. Well, I can imagine it's the same thing with the grass. You just don't throw seed on top of the ground and hope that it's going to be Kentucky bluegrass. You have to start in with the soil first.
And that's a great point. I was part of an awesome team that we constructed, built, and maintained Bayside Resort Golf Club down in southern Delaware. And part of that was, I was young at the time, a couple years removed from Penn State University, where I got my golf course turf grass management, and seeing swampland, if you will, go from as far as you can see into this glorious green pasture of grass that gets played on so much, and the views down there, being so close to Maryland and just the Eastern Shore, it's a gorgeous piece of property. But to see it go from that into what it is now, and we opened it in 2005. It's
amazing.
It really is. It's one of the best experiences of my life, to be a part of that team.
Wow. And that's down by Lewis, isn't it?
Fenwick. So right above
Fenwick.
Ocean City. So the minute as you're driving north through Ocean City, the very next street, once you get into Delaware, I think it's 54.
Yes.
You hang a left, and it's about 4 or 5 miles back there.
That's great. Yeah. And your third tip, I just want to touch base, is what grass seed to plant and when. What grass seed to plant and when. So again, now this is a broad, just so our viewers understand. Maryland is, many different types of soil types. So I would definitely contact you directly for your specific location, your address, your area. But I think just in generalization, what are your thoughts with that?
So it's interesting because I've spent most of my career in the Mid-Atlantic area, from Maryland to Delaware to New Jersey, even some time in PA. And it's really what's called the transition zone. So you have warm season and cool season grass. And in that middle is the transition zone. I believe it covers a little bit of Virginia, and it runs all the way up in through Maryland. And as we're warming here, I think that line's moving up a little bit, getting into PA, because we're starting to see a lot of warm season grasses creep their way in up as we go north. So it's I tell people there's a very good there's a lot of variety of turf grasses that are out there, and that, again, many products out there at the big box stores that you can choose from. What I specifically tell people to do is, I tell them to kind of evaluate their property. And we can do this. Maria, you did touch on this earlier, and I apologize I didn't talk about it. But a lot of my clients, we do Zoom calls, because if they're not, relatively close to me, it's hard for me to get out there. But they can easily walk around with their camera, and I'm right there with them. Hey, Jim, I got a question over here. I don't know what this is. I zoom in a little closer, and I could take a look at it.
That would be
neat. Yeah, right.
I'd be like, look at this.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can talk after. But
people.
Really, yeah, absolutely. But the key is like right now, everybody's going to say, "Why I have a lot of sun on my property." Well, it's because the leaves aren't out yet. So you have to look at your property throughout the year. You kind of have to go, man, I have a lot of trees that are on the back. Are they on the west side of my property or the east side of the property? Is it blocking the morning sun or the afternoon sun?
Right.
So there's a lot that goes into it. But in reality, you have to make sure that you give the grass that you want to thrive, you have to give it an opportunity. So if you want, a lot of people like the warm season grass because it goes brown in the winter and they just don't want to see it. But it stays gorgeous green through the summer, no matter how hot it gets and how dry it gets. That's the warm season grasses. But a lot of people, and Brad's one of them, where he's like, I love the cool season grass, but all this Bermuda grass, which is a warm season grass, is growing through, and it just drives him mad. He's out there on his hands and knees, and he's picking up, Bermuda grass, and he's throwing it on the side. And I love him to death, but that's not going to do anything. We have to get rid of it, by other means than just grabbing it with our hands.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, it's fantastic. And I tell you, if there's anything else you want to share with us to kind of wrap this up, please go ahead and do so. As far as people being able to contact you, you have a great Facebook page, by the way. So I do encourage people. We're going to have a link after the show, below this show on our Facebook page, directed them directly to your page. So I encourage them to like your page, to follow it, and also to visit your website, to contact you directly if they have any questions or anything of that nature. And so that's probably the best ways for them to contact you. But you're another community rock star, Jim, and I appreciate that. I really do.
Thank you very much, Robert. I appreciate it. Maria, thank you.
Thank you. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on, Jim. Okay?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yep, thank you. So he was, again, another community rock star for us. I absolutely enjoyed
grasses can be very, very detail oriented.
Exactly.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I mean, I know that like parts of our grass look different, and I always wonder why. But I didn't realize there was that much into detail.
Yeah, it's important, and I mean, we're always having these conversations with our clients as far as curb appeal and things like that, and that's why I was just so thrilled to have Jim on here. And I tell you, he's so busy right now, and I bet he is. So, but listen, I want to dive into market stats.
Okay,
and so let's have fun with that. All right, so our market stats, we just kind of generalized now. Harford County is what we've done. Now we're going to take other counties as well as time moves on, but I wanted to share with you the market stats for Harford County, and this is for April 8th. As of today in Harford County, we have. Oh, I'm sorry.
You really are a camera hog, but that's okay. I never wanted to be on camera to begin with.
Been called well, if I'm going to be a camera hog, I'm doing this to you. So anyway,
maybe you should lean like your picture.
I'll lean. How about this? No. You have to lean towards me. But anyway, in Harford County, as of today, there's 186 active homes right now. 186 active homes.
That's
out of
it?
all of Harford County. That's all we have. But take a look at the graph on here. 534 pending properties at an average price of $375,000. Okay, average price of $375,000. That's 534 properties that are under contract right now. It's amazing.
I need to be one of those with a couple people, actually.
Now, what's equally amazing here is that the closed properties in just the past 30 days, I only went 30 days past,
Right.
327 properties have closed at an average price of $340,000. Now, I want you to do the math real quick. If you're watching online right now, I want you to put it in the comment section. I want you to divide out, let's just say the last 30 days, you're going to divide out, you're going to put in 327 properties. How many closings per day?
I know we accounted for quite a few
Go
of
ahead,
those.
just give me an estimate. Just throw out a number real quick. How many closings per day? I didn't do the
Honey,
calculation.
Not everybody likes to do math.
Well, I'm telling you
like
right now.
you don't like math.
That is an amazing amount of closings every single day for properties in Harford County. And right now there's 78 coming soon
It's a little
homes.
over 10 a day.
So that's amazing. 10 closings
I
a
do
day.
math well, but
Title companies are working overtime right now. They're absolutely.
everybody's working
everyone's
overtime. What are you
working overtime.
talking about?
Our home inspectors,
I don't know
everyone.
who you're talking
Our lenders, our everyone.
Maybe you've been on vacation, not me.
No, yeah, exactly. So 78 coming soon homes at an average price of $361,000, which is pretty fair. If you want more information on any of the coming soon properties, please feel free to contact us for more information.
We'll tell you how to
about that,
find them.
and we'll tell you how to find them.
Absolutely.
Yep, 100%.
Absolutely.
So, well, we're going to go ahead and wrap the show up. Listen.
Wait a minute. I was going to talk about what is coming to Fallston. Do we know what's coming to Fallston?
What is coming?
Has anybody heard? This
I-
is not going to be good for us financially and probably for my
did hear.
waistline, but
I did hear
Chipotle is coming to Fallston.
Chipotle.
Right? Yes. See,
That's right.
am I saying it wrong?
Chipotle.
I don't know if I am or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's coming to that bank right before you turn into Harvest Fair.
Correct.
It's coming to that bank right there. I wonder if they're going to have a drive-through.
That's right.
That would be so
So that's the first
awesome.
one. And what's the second?
Yeah,
one?
and then the second one we have talked about before, but Mission Barbecue is coming to Bel Air. So
That's
we
right.
have two new great restaurants. Well, I guess it's a restaurant, but I did that are coming to Harford County, which is
Mission
awesome.
Barbecue's fantastic, by the way.
And their whole
Absolutely
motto and how they started and get supported, how they support the community. So I did a couple fun facts for both of those. And one fun fact for Chipotle is that the actual starter, the actual founder, that's the right word, founder. I'm thinking grass is starter seed. Founder is, I've got grass on the brain.
That's right.
Is an actual chef. And he actually went to the same institute, culinary institute, as Duff did from Baltimore. The big Duff that did those. I don't even know what his show was called now. I don't know. Maybe it was Duff's. I don't even remember. What was it called? Do you remember, Rob?
I don't remember.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah,
Correct
somebody
us.
remind
Put it
me
in
what
the
that
comment
show was
section.
called.
Yep.
Something, but the Great Cakes. And then for Mission Barbecue, the fun fact is that they actually take and decorate their franchises in different areas, and they decorate them with items from the community that stand up for the community, that describe the community, and they've all been donated.
That's right.
So I thought that was pretty cool.
So what we're going to do is we're going to pick out one of the cards.
All right, I got
on
my
our spin to win.
We're going to spin.
So we're going to spin
Sorry.
it. No, that's okay.
See, now you want to be the wheel of
And
MHT.
so you can look on the count.
So what is it?
It's
Mission
M for
Barbecue.
Mission Barbecue.
Yep.
So you are going to get a gift card to Mission Barbecue. But what we're going to do is we've kind of kept track of those that are kind of watching the show right now.
And
so
we're
what
going
we're
to put your
going to do is we're going to put your name
in a bowl.
in a little bowl, and we're going to DM you.
And you'll be surprised.
And you will be surprised in the mail with a Mission Barbecue.
Yep.
So see, it does pay to watch our show. It does pay. Absolutely.
Wow.
And
We're
with
just
a
glad that
plethora
you
of
joined
information on how
in.
to turn your grass from brown to green. Also remember that as well.
Like PGA green. Like,
that's right.
That's a big deal.
Well,
Absolutely.
we are going to head out right now. So listen, remember this, just like the sign says behind us, we are better what?
together.
We're better together. And remember this,
Yeah.
it matters who you work with
Absolutely.
in this market. So whether you're buying or whether you're selling a home,
Give us a call.
it does matter. We're all about building
'Cause
relationships.
we have the buyers for you for sure.
We have the buyers, and we want to talk to you about representing you to buy or to sell your home. And we look forward to seeing you.
Go to that flea market this weekend.
That's right. Exactly. And I want to see you on Saturday morning, too, at our buyer workshop. So don't forget to register on our website.
Not this week, though, the 27th. Right?
That's right. Yeah,
Okay, just
exactly.
double
All right.
check
We'll
it.
see you then.
All righty.
Easy. I'm still on, babe.